Back in September 2020, we sold our house in the UK, then moved to Normandy in France, where we bought an ancient French farmhouse with various outbuildings, including an old barn, a small cottage with 2 woodlands, and 3.5 acres of pastured land in a beautiful national park area. Follow us on our journey as Budo and I renovate the farmhouse, manage our land, and take on many projects for you to enjoy. Let the fun begin. Bonjour everyone.
Hello everyone, welcome to Caravan Corner.
Hope you've all had a good week. We've had a good week and a very busy week, haven't we?
Very busy week. Been catching up because James and Abby and little Archie have gone home.
Aww.
Sad times, but good times as well.
Good memories, weren't they?
They've enjoyed themselves, loved it. They are coming back soon as well, and it's inspired a lot of our family members to come out as well.
We said you can go, but be back soon.
Yeah, we're coming back down that road again. Anyway, so it's been a busy week because we've been trying to catch up. I've been making the box sashes further on, getting further into the project. I've now got up to a stage where I've made all the section profile mouldings and everything are done. The boxes are made, and Tracy is now oiling them, which she'll tell you about in a minute.
Yeah.
And I've made all the sash material, all the glazing bar material sections, everything is ready now. So on the next time you watch this, you'll see me starting to put them together, the sashes, and even maybe see them dry assembled and fitted in. So we're moving along there.
Also, I've been outside just sort of clearing up, and at the back where we're growing, haven't I, just clearing up the land a little bit, just keeping on top of everything, because the weeds, the bracken soon creep back, don't they, really quickly.
Everything's growing very quickly.
Yeah, very quick here, because we've sort of had a mixture, more lovely weather, but a little bit of rain as well. So I've been doing that, and as you said, I started oiling the boxes, which is sort of certain parts linseed oil, then obviously we've mixed in turpentine, which makes it a lot thinner, but it smells lovely. I just love the smell of turpentine.
Well, the reason we put a bit of turpentine, and it's pure, not the made up one, the real turpentine from trees. What happens is it thins out the oil a little bit, and it pulls the oil into the wood more, so you get a better protection.
Penetrates more, doesn't it?
Basically, we're using the oil externally as well as internally. It's all over, but the boiled linseed oil is to give it a primer coat, ready to put top coats on the external. And that does help it. If you was just going for outside and only oil, you wouldn't just use boiled linseed oil. You'd have to put something on more of a tung oil, something a little bit stronger. But boiled linseed oil does a good job of priming.
But because I'm painting, that will be a 2-coat system as well. So really, it's going to have 5 coats, isn't it? Which is going to give it a good protection. But they're looking so lush now, aren't they?
And we're keeping the insides wood.
Yeah.
So you'll see the oak on the inside. Just want to jump onto the composting again. I'm getting obsessed with this composting. But
no.
The first pile I started, which is now about 14 days ago, roughly, is not far from done. I mean, literally, it's darkening up. It's probably now about 12 days or so, 13 days maybe, and then it's ready. So that's been going along nice. We've been getting tons of grass. Literally, I've just picked up another trailer today of grass, full up, probably a ton and a bit of grass, piled into we had to tread it down, to push it in. That's out in the trailer now, so we've got the nitrates coming and nitrogen, if you like, and it's really building up. And we're going to have tons of compost, which we need, and we need to keep it going to keep when we start putting it down on the land. But the next process on the land for me is I'm going to put the cultivator in and get the prongs, or whatever you call them, into the ground and start pulling out roots, and go a couple of ways, different ways, until I get enough roots out prepping the land before we put the cardboard on.
Because that compost will soon get eaten up. It looks
Yeah.
a lot there, but once we lay our borders down, that will soon
Yeah.
get used. But obviously it will be an ongoing process. And you've got another source, haven't you? Three
Yeah.
young Frenchmen.
Yeah, I've
Tell
got
them the story.
I don't know if I told him in one of the videos.
I'm
did
not
I? So
sure. I'm not sure.
basically, me and my son were driving down the road, and we met these three French fellas
As you
that
do.
were putting grass in a great big tipper, and they had a little tiny bit of English, and I had a tiny bit of French, and we sort of communicated, and they said, they'd be happy to bring the grass to me because they're here once on the 3rd of every month.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, I'll supply them with a little bit of beer, and
Which they
they'll
enjoyed.
supply me with grass, and that's how it's worked out, which is fantastic.
They'll be happy. Saves them going and putting it
Yeah, so
somewhere
they
else,
have to
I
pay to get rid of
suppose.
it anyway. So, it's a win-win situation for
Yeah.
everyone. One of the reasons we're going for that no-dig system and the composting is we're trying to not disturb. Once we've done the initial disturbance of the land, we're trying not to no more, and we're trying to build up a humus, or whatever is it humus they call
Humus,
it?
they call it,
Yeah,
yeah.
you put it on top and you build and build up, and what that does, it don't only nourish and feed the earth, but it also retains the moisture, so it holds the rain in. When it rains, and it holds the moisture in there, so you end up less water in anyway. So it's a good thing, and it's good for the environment in terms of when the microbes are working under the ground properly, they grow more stronger, lusher plants, and the plants in themselves and the trees that we're going to grow and everything else will pull the carbon out of the air. So we'll be doing our bit to actually decarbonise the air, the volume of air in space, and bringing it down, and keeping our woodland going as well, and that will help in the
Regenerative gardening.
Oh, my tongue's gone today. I just don't. But anyway, so we're looking at keeping up the growing and the adding to the soil for this reason mainly, and to get great vegetables. And another thing is when we did it in England, when we was growing vegetables, because we was building up the compost and the humus, if you like, and it was coming up higher, so it ended up about up here somewhere. The plants were growing really strong and lush.
Yeah.
So therefore, you don't need to treat them with any chemicals. We don't no chemicals whatsoever
No,
in our. We try and do everything as natural as possible, but you don't need the chemicals because the plants will grow stronger.
Yeah.
And because they're growing stronger, they're fighting off the bugs. So the stronger the plants are, they can tolerate a little plague of insects or something, and still go through that. But if they're weak in the beginning and they're hit with loads of chemicals, they ain't going to survive
No,
it.
definitely not.
And this is what we found, didn't we?
Yeah.
Every time we did it. So it's something to think about for you guys who are gardeners out there, about getting away from the chemicals, getting natural, building up your soil, and retaining the moisture.
Yeah, definitely.
But
think
you've
that's it.
explained about Clare, have you?
Oh yes, sorry, I'm too busy listening to you.
Waffling.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that. No, not really.
So I'll go and have a cup of tea.
Claire and Roy, who are our good friends, where our son and daughter-in-law and baby Archie stayed, I'm going to this time as well, I put the description I put their email address into the description. The website at the moment is up and go, they're just at the start.
That's on
of
the
it.
last video, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's on the last video, but
Yeah.
this video
We'll
I'm
do it
going to
again.
put all her email address for you, and it's called Gite Daisy, because they're just trying to get the website sorted out now. But if anyone is interested in booking, you contact her via her email, and also if need be, Claire can forward on some pictures while the website's in process. But you will not be disappointed. It's just such a beautiful place, and if you like that farm experience, and the Gites are independent, there's one either side, but they are.
So you've got your own
they've done-
space. You've got
Yeah.
it's it's high up as well, quite
Yeah.
high up. So we're down in the valley here.
Yeah.
They're up higher. When we go to them, they're around about 4 or 5 kilometres away from us, and we're literally going uphill all the time. So they get that lovely cool breeze in the
it's lovely.
summer. And hot sunshine at the
Yeah,
same
it's
time, don't they?
beautiful.
But if you're coming to South Normandy,
That would
and
be a place to
that's
stay,
the
I
place to
would
stay,
recommend.
because you're strategically in a good place, because you're central in terms of you can get to medieval towns, which I've said before, but you also got the bigger towns. You've got Mortain, you've got the Fleur,
Clare.
Domfront,
Yeah.
Vier, so that you're sort of central to all that. And Tonspray.
Yeah,
What else is
Tonspray and Bocage. And
yeah.
there's probably a market on every day of the week
Yep.
in this area and surrounding
There's always,
areas.
you can find markets on and
Greniers, everything.
and the Broconts are just everywhere if you're into that as well.
We're trying to hold back at the moment.
Got no space for stuff.
I've been looking at a chambray, which is a bedroom suite, so I'm just holding back at the moment. I keep seeing them because we haven't got nowhere to put them, have we? So that will come, but I've got them in my saved on Facebook on the selling pages.
Caravan corner, we're waffling again.
Yeah, you'll see that in this video as well. In one part, 3 or 4 times we were trying to cut it off and we just kept chatting.
Yeah.
But we like talking, don't we?
Anyway, so this video this week we didn't explain really all of it, did we? So
that's it. It's about
mainly it's about the box sashes and Tracy clearing up the area ready for the prepping.
I think we did it.
Yeah, we've done all this. Let's cut this off.
Right.
Just rewind. That could be a blooper.
Well, fun weekend, everyone.
Yes.
Good weekend, and we will chat to you all soon.
And we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, then I've just come up, put this oak wood chippings that come out of my machine, mixed it into this grass. This is just pure grass and oak chippings, so we're going to see how that goes. That's a good way to use up waste wood chippings and that, you know, to put them into composts, and creates a very good carbon layer, if you like. But Tracy's been busy up here today. I've been in the workshop cutting all the wheels for the boxes and things, just sorting the boxes out. Tracy's been over here, she's been weeding this whole bed. We are getting little weeds coming through here, so she's been weeding all that. She's tidied up the plastic, made it all neat, put all rocks down the sides to keep it down because it's been blowing around in the wind. We've had some thunderstorms here last night, some big heavy ones. And she's put the water butt in a nice place there for now. So how we're going to do this is, because we've got no water here at the moment properly, as we walk up here, me and Tracy, whoever walks up here with nothing in their hands brings up a bucket or 2 of water, and we're just going to start filling it in there, so it will slowly get full up. We've got loads around the front collected. She's going to weed all this, and are you alright, Trace?
Yeah.
So you're doing what? Tell us.
I'm just chopping all the heads off the bracken, and if we do it a few times, then hopefully that'll eliminate it. So every time I see it come up, obviously at a certain height,
nip the heads off it.
I'm just going to nip the heads off. I'm going to go around the trees as well where the tractors couldn't go.
Yeah.
But it's looking a bit tidier, isn't it?
Yeah. So I mean, it is. It's what you got to keep on top of it, haven't we?
Yeah.
Because I've been round the field again with a tractor yesterday, and look, it's just shooting up again.
Crazy.
Literally, because that thunderstorm though, there's a lot of water gone down on there. But it is shorter now, keeping it short. We're going to keep all this tidy here eventually as well. Got loads to go out, but we're trying to do our renovation and at the same time, aren't we?
So we're going to do a bit of seeding and grow what we can this year, so we've got a little bit of food and that. But the water butt we've got outside the front door, that filled up 3/4 of the way.
Yeah, 150 litres in about 10-15 minutes.
15 minutes.
So it shows you how much water comes off your roof. So water catchment is very important, and that was one side of a little part of the roof. So if we utilise the whole of the roofs,
yeah, we're going to have loads
we're going to actually get probably a lot of water, and we'll set up some IBCs at some stage, and then we'll have some sort of irrigation down to a little pond behind me now where I'm standing.
The difference here though, we've got 3.5 acres.
Yeah.
Where normally you'd have a, say,
plus the woodlands.
Woodlands, but say 100 to 200 foot garden.
Yeah.
And also you'd have your water butts like we did, didn't we, back in the UK, strategically placed. But here,
yeah, we did. We had them all the way down the garden, if you like. We had quite a long garden. It was 100 foot, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But that was in England. But we had water butts. Yeah, it keeps you fit. But it had water butts all the way down, didn't it?
Yeah.
But so you're going to crack on getting them off,
just
kill them,
all the way round here. Look.
Kill them off, and then
done all this bit. The net.
Work your way round here, yeah. And then we'll slowly go through that eventually, won't we?
Yeah, we'll get the strimmer on that. But I'll just go round the trees, and if we could just keep on top of it, because it's land, isn't it? It's not supposed to look pristine, is it? It's
No.
supposed to look a bit rustic, so we can get away with that, can't we, really?
But anyway, so I'll leave you at that.
Yeah.
I'll just say one thing as I saw it. This is a goat willow that's grown in the middle of there. It's probably 15 years old because it's been like that for a long time. So we're going to keep them long poles, and they'll go into some sort of fencing later on. So I'm going to cut them off, and then we'll dig that all out with the digger, and then we can start this kitchen at some stage. But we want to get the windows in done first, don't we, Trey?
Yep, windows, painted, oil, but in between...
Oiled, painted,
yep,
finished and in.
Then they'll be doing the stud work in the bedroom, plasterboard, tape and jointing.
Finish the bedroom.
Get the coving done, yeah, but in between, like while you're doing things and I can't...
Yeah, while I'm doing joinery.
I'll clear up, won't
Yeah,
I?
you're doing a good job and all, because it's all manual, hard labour. You're doing well.
I've had my Weet-Bix this morning.
Yeah, but the thing is, with the joinery, it's intricate,
Yeah.
so I can't rush it. I'm trying to get it methodically done properly, you know, so we can get it right. But, okay, so we'll knock it on there. Well done. I'll go back now.
Thank you.
And I'll let you crack on in the lovely sunlight.
I'm suffering, aren't I?
Okay.
No.
Hi folks, right, so this is part 4 now of the box sash windows I'm making in oak. I'm going to flip you around, show you what I'm up to. So what I'm doing now, you can see all these components here and up here and on the bench. I've spent the last hour or so just cutting them out of raw material, so they come out of raw stock, which is, you know, this will be like a 9x2 or whatever, 8x2, and they're 1.5 inch by probably 8 inch or 7.5 inch. Anyway, I've cut them all down, so these are going to be things like bottom rails, mid rails, heads. These will be all the glazing bars. These will be the stiles. These will be the top stiles with the horns on. These will be glazing bars as well. They're the shorts that I cut in, and so on. But it's all oak. It's all prepping. So this is the first bit, and I'll come back with you later and show you when they're starting to be moulded and rebaited and set up. Just want to show you this little feature. I think you might like it. I think it's unique as well, because if you understand about sashes, let me grab one of these. So if you can imagine that was your rail coming down on a window, then you'd have your glazing bars going off of that, right? And then on the bottom you have a horn on these, and I've designed this horn here, so if you see that properly. This is just a template, but I've done it in a style sort of like a half fleur-de-lis, if you like. So let me show you on the window how it would look if you was putting it in a window box, coming over to this little box here. So from the outside, I don't know if you can see that. Where are we? Yeah, we're there we go. So that would be there. Obviously it's too big for this window, but that would give you a horn, and it looks like a half a fleur-de-lis, if you like. So I've designed that. I'm going to see how that turns out. Totally unique, never seen it done before like that. But that's the thing about woodworkers, we can play with it, you know, we can create and design. So obviously that would go on there, this shape would be cut out, and then that would be incorporated into the sash. Anyway, I'm going to pop up now, see Tracy, because she's doing the boxes for me, or for us. She's oiling them all up and getting them protected. So let's carry on up there. Are you up there, Trey? Yeah, I'm coming up there now. Right, just for... So, you see this a lot, us going upstairs, don't you? No, but it's always filming going upstairs. So how are you getting on?
I've started the oiling.
Cool.
Can you smell the turpentine?
In the oil, yeah. So we thin down the oil very slightly with the first coat. You always thin it down slightly with a bit of turpentine, natural turpentine as well, not white spirit. So it just fills it down, and what that does, it allows the oil to really penetrate deep into the oak. And she's done one here. She's oiled up. So shut this door.
It's upside down at the moment.
Yeah, it's upside down, that's right.
Because the seal's there, we have to take the seals off.
So that's the sort of colour it's going to be. You can see the wheels on the bottom. So it's going to get warmer as you build the coats up, and it'll start looking like our door. Look. Don't think I showed you this.
No, they haven't seen this oiled and hung, have they?
No, so that's all oiled and hung now on there. It's looking quite dapper, as they say.
Camel baskets, because I want them for my knitting.
But that's the finish of it. So that's had 3 coats of oil on there. Linseed oil, boiled. Remember we was talking about boiled linseed oil, it's more important. And same goes with the windows, boiled linseed oil. You can use raw, but the problem with raw, it takes a long time to dry between coats, and it can get more sticky. So you're better off staying with the boiled because it sets up properly. But
it looks lovely, look though.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Look, up here, look. So you've got a lovely colour, is so lovely, and they're so rich and warm.
And the wallpaper, I think, is just going to look...
And spinning you round. Yeah, the wallpaper would be beautiful with that oak. So I've made these 2 boxes here. This is one's on the bench, Tracy's doing, and one's sitting behind that box. The other taller one is for downstairs, and this little one here, which we showed you.
Gone through the magic
Yeah, open it.
door.
Open the magic door.
You may leave my work, Colin.
It's going here. Now, those observant of you will notice that window looks bigger than that smaller window that I've made. Well, it is, because it only comes to here, roughly. The window from top to here. All this here I'm building back in with stone, and the reason for that is pre-thinking forwards. Is that this window out here has to be shorter for 2 reasons. The staircase is dangerous with it being so low, was one factor, but the major factor is to get the pitch on the roof of the kitchen, which is directly below here. The roof comes in here, okay. I have to bring the pitch up higher so it comes up into this space. So the pitch of the roof will be somewhere in here. Yeah, low down here, and I didn't want it encroaching, so the window will be above that, well above it, and we can put a proper weather like a flashing, you know, to keep the
well, look, it
the
will
weather
just
out.
show if our grandchildren were here and you replaced French windows. Look how dangerous for an adult. You could easily just
You trip there and fall straight out that. But it ain't going to happen with these new windows anyway. So
no, definitely. Look at that view down there. Look.
Yeah.
So lovely.
So there's the view out there Tracy's talking about. There's the heaps. Look how dark they're getting. They're cooking up lovely. There's I reckon another 12 days, possibly 14 days, and the first heap's ready. And that's going on the ground. That is a 3 to 4 week, like I said in the beginning. We're getting there now. Anyway, going off that, we go back to gardening quickly, don't we? Box sashes to gardening. But I know it's a bit long-winded, but I'll just try and explain everything to you so you can understand it, so you can visualise it coming for the future. So you'll see this window go up higher, makes it safer internally. Definitely. Sorts out the problem we have with the pitch of the roof, so we can get the correct pitch for tiles and runoff water. And then coming back in here, these windows, what we've decided now, and it's a definite decision, is we're going six panes on top, 6 panes on the bottom. It's going to look beautiful. Believe me, you'll love it.
No, that's on record.
It's on record, and we're definitely keeping it that. Yeah.
The sashes, aren't you? So it has to be.
Yeah, it has to be, because it's proportionally right, and there is a nice proportion. Them French window openings are a nice proportion that suit this window as well.
Suit the house as well.
You know.
Definitely. So we're just trying to get it right, aren't we?
Yeah.
All the way round.
Well, you know me, I have my little gripe with French windows. It's nothing to do with French windows. It's a European window system, which is adopted by the French and mostly Southern Europe. There is Northern Europe with it. And because they work with this system of opening in, because they have shutters on the outsides 9 times out of 10. So that system for them, they can shut the shutters open the windows, and then the air should flow through. But in Normandy, they don't have hardly any vented shutters.
Louvered shutters.
Louvered,
No.
so they're completely shut off.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense. There's no sense to that.
No. And a little example, when I started there this morning, I mean the sun's out today, but we had thunderstorms, didn't we?
Oh.
Torrential rain, so I had to close them quickly.
Yeah.
And
you couldn't open until they were dry because it drips inside.
Turpentine and linseed oil, I need air. I don't want to be in that environment.
But it's it doesn't make sense generally,
No,
and it is what it is, and they've done it for years and years, and it's there.
Yeah,
But for me, a casement window should always open outwards, and that gives you a good weather seal to shut to when you're shutting it back. And also, the Georgians invented the best window ever, the box sash sliding window. No one could beat it. I don't care. It's so beautiful, and it works and functions properly.
When you have the louvered shutters on the outside, you can open your windows, keep the shutters shut, but it's daytime. You want that lightness to come
Anyway,
in the room, don't you?
we will let the viewers judge it when they're in.
Yes.
Tell me what you
One
think.
thing we do love is their mechanism, don't we, on French windows?
Oh, mate, there's...
That I love. Oh, mate!
No, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. What I mean is I actually love the look of a French window from outside. It's like a French door. You cannot beat it. It's beautiful to look at, but functionality doesn't make sense. So, you'll get some people say, oh, but you can open them and clean your windows.
That's mine.
But that's it.
Yeah.
What else do they do? All they do is allow the water to come in, because you're very hard to keep the water out on them type of windows. Yeah. But anyway, we're not going to go down that road because other people will disagree. That's my opinion only. And I think, being a joiner all my life and seeing how windows work through time and, since I've been doing it for 40 years, I should know that. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to get into
it. They'll love them. If we just say all the inside and painted on the outside too.
But look at this. Look. See how beautiful this has come up? This is the seal with a little rebate on the back that slots in. Oh, it's the other way around, is it, Trey? No.
Yeah, it's upside down.
Oh, no, it's that way around. So that would slot in here.
Yeah.
And that would give us... Just hold that there, Trey. So that would give us that finish on the out. That's the seal upside down. We'll show you better when it goes in, but it's looking beautiful. It smells delicious as well.
And another thing as well, obviously I'm going to be finished oiling these, but storage as well, isn't it? You've got to store them a certain way as well, because if you're just laying them on the floor...
Oh no, you can't do that.
Really
they have to be in a dry environment, off of a damp floor, standing up, all oak. You cannot leave it laying on the floor for long periods of time.
Yeah.
Right? You have to keep it, especially if it's not been treated.
That's what.
Because you will have problems with that in the future. So, we will have these oiled, and these will be fitted within about a week or so.
That's all, because sometimes people don't realise that, do they? And then they wonder why things have warped or things has happened. But
generally though, oak doesn't warp. It's quite robust. These windows should last 100 years or more easily.
Yeah.
If they're maintained and looked after and kept up with their routine of maintenance. Everything you paint, we're going to be painting the outside of that, that means that has to be painted every 5 years for its life.
With the MSP it's 10 years.
But I know they say that, Trace, but really belt and braces every 5 years is minimum. You should really be getting them coated, and that means your wood, in conservation, when I was doing the work in England, right, and taking out from listed buildings pine wood windows that were built in the 1700s, and they were still good today, bar the rot on the seals.
So it just
and they used oak. So they had been there for 200 years. And it was just down to poor maintenance from the 60s, 50s and 60s onwards that they didn't survive. Up until that time they were starting to rot.
But you know about woods, don't you? Obviously you've taught me a lot about woods, different things, but how old, like this beam, how old is this oak beam? It just shows
hundreds of years
how long
old.
They last, don't they?
Hundreds and hundreds.
It's such a robust wood, isn't it?
This oak beam, when we checked that bit out there, this is made from what they call get the name of it now, brown oak. So it's a brown oak system, timber that was stood in a boggier area where it grew, yeah. But it's still here, 200 years later. Anyway,
It lasts forever.
this is going on a bit, Trace.
Times now.
I'm going. I've got to get on.
To get oil in. Oh no.
Okay, folks, we'll chat to you soon.
Bye.
So, morning all. Right, now I'm running up the profiles on the on the sash material for the sashes. These are sliding sashes, run up and down. So my cutter has cut out this profile here, which is a beautiful little mould, stepped. And then this is a rebate here. This bit gets cut off here, so that goes as well, because I've got to do that on my, because I've got to deepen this on my rebate block. But it's starting to come down. These are all the glazing bars going to be. So that'll be the profile. Forget the bit at the bottom. It's just this top bit. That'll be the profile of the glazing bar. So you can get to see what they sort of look like. Okay, so all the glazing bars are getting done, and then I'm just going to run up this lot here. So we've got the bottom rails, top rails, stiles, and the meeting bars. This will be cut double angle on there, cut to make the meeting rails. And the reason I make the meeting rail, which is where the two meet in the middle, I keep it this thin, so it gives a nice, a better look to it, you know, in terms of the, if you put that on there, it's not much thicker than the actual glazing bar, so it looks like another glazing bar as a meeting rail, if you like, if you can understand it. I mean, the carpenters would understand what I'm saying. But anyway, making lots of mess. Filled up that bag with chippings. So if you was local and you had chickens, come and see me. All this lovely sawdust. Now I use it for all my composting now, so this will be all the carbon, if you like. So nothing's wasted. That's the beauty of woodworking. Nothing gets wasted, everything gets used, and I love it. Okay, I'll come back again when I get a bit more further on with the profiles. Okay then, so this is the last bit of preparation of the profile and dimensioning. So all the glazing bars are done, so you can see that's the glazing bar, that's just a short. I've got all the longs down here, over here. This is all the sash rails, so this will be stiles, top rail, heads. These are the heads actually. These will be the bottom rails on the bottom sash, and then these are all your stiles, what we call stiles. This is all your short glazing bars. The reason they're this short is because they're going to be that sort of short anyway when they're cut into the scribed in and tenanted. But it was because I had a load of oak offcuts which are down here, and I utilised them, I used them, rather than wasting full lengths of oak sheets, you know, full boards. I just used up the small stuff. It's a bit more tedious because you've got to feed each one individually through the machine, but it's worth it in the end because oak is a valuable resource, and it's a beautiful timber, and it's, you know, you can't be wasting it really. So my mid-rails, meeting rails, or mid-rails, meeting rails, I've done the profile on here. Now they get cut at an angle here to be part of the sashes. I can't find this rebate yet until I know the width, until I get the overall width, which I'll get from my drawing later. But that's all I've got to do now, so it's all ready. I'm going to post this one up for you to have a look at. This will be, I think, part 5, and then the next one will be part 6, where I'll be actually doing the joinery, putting all this together, making it fit the boxes you saw earlier, and you'll start to see the nice stuff coming together now. Anyway guys, hope you're enjoying this little series. I know it's a little bit long-winded, but it's very tedious making box sash windows. They're not, you know, not a run-of-the-mill where everyone can make them, especially when they've got lots of glazing bars involved, but it's a nice process, and I've never seen it on any of the YouTube showing exactly how it goes from start to finish. So this will be great for the future for people to, you know, hopefully learn from if they've got some skill in carpentry already, and they'll be able to pick up this sort of stuff from here. I obviously can't give you everything, every little detail, putting it together, every motion of going through a machine, because I've got to hold some back for when we start to run classes in a year or so, where people will come and stay in the cottage and they can have a holiday here and learn carpentry if they want to, and other skills that we've got. Anyway, let's look forward to that. That's the future. Let's crack on with this, and I'll speak to you later.